So I have lived the digital nomad lifestyle for the past 3 years. And based on that experience, I will tell you my plans for the next few years, as well as my long-term plan as a digital nomad for the rest of my life. So let's start with the plans for the next 1 or 2 years. So far, I have noticed that from all the different places I have visited and stayed longer, Canggu, Bali, where I'm right now, is the only place where I actually enjoy and see myself staying longer than like 1 or 2 months. There's many different destinations like Koh Phangan, Da Nang. Those two are my favorites that are really amazing for 1 or 2 months, but longer than that, I don't really enjoy it that much. And that's also the experience that I have seen from like people I meet and talk. So yeah, I've noticed that even if I really love living here in Canggu and it feels like it's never boring, I still after like 4, 5, 6 months, I feel like I kind of would enjoy staying in a little bit more peaceful place like Koh Phangan, for example, or just different experience like in Vietnam. So that's what I have learned, at least for me, the perfect like a year is this kind of year that 6 months in Bali. It's also good for tax reasons and everything to not stay longer than that. And then traveling around Southeast Asia, staying in my favorite places, always trying a couple of new places, 1 month or 2 months in every destination. So it's not too much travel, but still experiencing many places every year. And I also noticed that 1 or 2 months back in Finland, it's really nice to see family and friends every year. So that's also good to do every summer. So I will definitely like keep doing this at least for a few more years here in Southeast Asia, this kind of cycle. So yeah, this year I will get a 2-year multi-entry visa for Bali, which allows up to 6 months stay every time I come in without any extensions. So that's pretty much like perfect visa option for people like me, because I can basically not worry about visas in Bali at all, just come in every time I'm coming in and stay as long as I want, because I will leave anyway. You can check my video guys, Southeast Asia Stays and Bali Life Guide for all the more detailed information about the visas and everything else basically in Bali and in Southeast Asia. But yeah, I think that I still enjoy experiencing new places, and everything now for me is so familiar here in Southeast Asia. So it would be nice after those 2 years to try a little bit different places, like Cape Town, for example, in South Africa. Seems really good for digital nomads. It's affordable cost of living. It seems to be so beautiful and nice vibe, and there's a lot to do there. So I think that's one place I definitely want to try for a few months. And also, of course, Mexico, for example, Playa del Carmen, Puerto Escondido. Like there's some places like that that I'm super excited to try at one point, probably within the next few years. But the thing about those kind of places is that I think it still doesn't really compare to live in Southeast Asia. Like here is just super safe, good cost of living, people are amazing, lifestyle is amazing, everything is so easy here. So I think I wouldn't see myself actually living in those places, but of course as a digital nomad, that's one of the points to be living this lifestyle, to be able to try and experience new places and meeting different people there, learning new things. So I will definitely do that. But at this point, I just feel so satisfied with Southeast Asia. So it seems like for the rest of my life, I would see myself living in Southeast Asia, probably in Canggu for long term. I will talk more detailed information about my long-term plans and business and everything. But first, I want to talk about something that will make living here long term way more stress-free. And that is a good travel medical insurance that is designed specifically for nomads. And that's why I decided to partner up with SafetyWing for this video. So yeah, I've been using SafetyWing for years already, and it's just really amazing. You can even purchase it while you're already traveling. It works like a subscription, so it's super flexible, and there's no cap on the duration of the travel. There's also so much more included in the insurance, not only the medical stuff, so it's really also good for the travel lifestyle. And to fit all your needs, they even have these days add-ons like electronic theft and action sports. And they even changed the policy to have zero deductible, so basically the coverage kicks in immediately without any out-of-pocket cost. So those are just some of the things why I love SafetyWing so much. Click the first link in the description to learn more and join SafetyWing today to enjoy peace of mind during your travels. But now back to the video. What I can say now after 3 years is that life is definitely getting better and better every year I spend in Southeast Asia. I'm learning more about things, how to optimize everything, because life here, of course, is very different than back home. And also, of course, meeting more and more people who are actually living here long term and having more of like a community around. And definitely Canggu more and more feels for me like a home and place where I really belong. So that has been really good to see. It didn't fully feel all these things in the beginning. There was a lot of struggles. There was problems with like food poisonings and health and meeting people, and then they leave and feeling really alone sometimes. But for me, at least, it just gets better and better all the time. So I'm super happy actually to see that and realize now after 3 years that I'm sure that long term this is a really good place to live. And also, yeah, my dream was always to move to Bali. And when I moved to Bali, I realized that, of course, like life is not perfect when I was able to live here, but I really enjoyed it way more than my life back in Finland. But what has been amazing to see the past year, that I actually was able to finally build my YouTube business to the point that I can quit my remote IT job. And that made a huge difference the past few months. It's just so much more enjoyable to not work two full-time jobs at the same time, basically, and just worry about work so much and money and business and everything. So yeah, it's just amazing feeling to live here and being able to just work on my own thing and have more time in the nature and spending with friends and doing activities. So yeah, definitely super happy and grateful to be in this point now. And I'm sure you all also can achieve this. I definitely started from nothing. Like I didn't have any skills or contacts or anything to be able to build this kind of business or start to living this kind of lifestyle. But I made it happen because I never quit. And as long as you never quit, you can do it too, for sure. But yeah, the next goal with the business as a digital nomad, of course, money is a big thing. And here you don't need that much money to live super nice lifestyle. Like now I spend like 1.5 to 2K USD per month. Like I'm already living my dream lifestyle and I'm not really even trying to save money, but it's just not that expensive. But of course, long term, it's nice to earn a little bit more always to be able to feel even more secure and long term like security. So on the business side, I would say it's just like growing my business to more secure point, and also of course it's good to have some money goals also in a way that the accommodation is sometimes a bit difficult to find in Southeast Asia or anywhere in these days. It's just getting so busy that it has become my goal to make a little bit more money, closer to like 10K USD per month, to be able to feel always like I don't need to worry about the accommodation, because in all these destinations there's always really nice places for like 1,500 to 3,000 USD per month. So that was my thought process of like, if I would earn closer to 10K per month, even if I couldn't find anything that it's like a decent price, I can always find a nice, comfortable place anywhere with this kind of budget, and it wouldn't hurt my bank account too much. Money is not that important, especially realizing it when you live here. Like there's so many more important things in life, like relationships and health and everything. And that's what I'm mainly focused on these days. By the way, like and subscribe if you're liking the video. But yeah, I'm definitely one of the biggest focuses and goals for me, I guess, is to find a girlfriend or like a life partner, because that's like the most rewarding thing. Of course, like living this life, it's amazing, but when you can share it with someone you love, it's the best feeling ever. And as a digital nomad, of course, a lot of my friends, they come and go. When I travel, I meet always people, but they're not like deep connections. So what I learned before, that when I have a girlfriend living this lifestyle, it's pretty perfect, because you have a partner who's always close, you can trust and can help you and support you with everything. And then you always make connections and meet like-minded people around. So it doesn't really matter that much when they leave or you leave, because you still have your partner. So even if I really enjoy also living alone and focusing on myself, that's definitely one thing that is like what I try to hopefully find or just meet at one point. And also that's one reason why I really enjoy staying longer now in Southeast Asia, because I think, at least for me, it seems to be the best place to potentially find a good-hearted partner who's supportive and like just a good girl, I would say. I think it's the best. I don't know, maybe you have different opinions and experiences, but for me, that's one big reason why I enjoy spending more time here now. And also, hopefully when meeting the partner here, then that's also a good place to live here where they are from. And yeah, that's the next topic about the long-term plans. I definitely enjoy, as I say, this cycle of like traveling or like trying different destinations and not only staying in one place whole year. But I'm definitely looking forward to having like an actual home, like owning a villa or just renting long term, having a little bit more stability in life, I guess, so I can focus on like building relationships and everything in one destination. It's always nice to come back to Bali, but of course, like 6 months kind of still goes fast, and you might meet people and make friends and then you just leave for 6 months. So of course it's easier to find deeper connections when you actually living long term as some other people are. And yeah, that was always my dream, to build my own villa or buy my own villa. And it's still something that I think I would love to do, but also I have noticed like it's also very like stress free to just rent, because there's, based on the 3 years I've spent here, talk to people who build their own villas, and what I just see that there's a lot that can go wrong. So just renting is also a very secure way to not get any trouble. Basically, if something goes wrong, then you can always just change place instead of like being responsible to fix something, or sometimes something goes very wrong with the building. And also I have heard stories of like people like building somewhere and then they change the planning and there's actually a road coming where the villa is, and you're just like, well, so I'm not sure if I will ever actually buy a villa or build a villa, but that might be something to look into long term if I actually end up like spending more time in Canggu and living actually here or somewhere else. By the way, like as I said, like Canggu for me right now is the only place where I see myself living long term, but this can change, of course. Things change fast here, like even Canggu has changed quite much the past few years. Most ways to much better, but some ways it's getting just super busy and like built up. So we'll see how things change. Maybe Koh Phangan or some other place could be even better after a few years. We'll see. But yeah, so for Canggu is also when I'm thinking super long term, like okay, like one day when I find some like life partner and maybe when we have kids, Canggu is also a good place in that way that the whole life setup, everything is super like works well here, and also there's some good international schools here. So at least I see a lot of people here with like family and actually living here like forever, I guess, or at least super long term. And I think it's the best place for that, at least so far. So that is my plan so far for the rest of my life, based on the past 3 years, based on everything I have learned and realized while living this lifestyle. Please comment if you have any ideas or thoughts about these topics down below, and like and subscribe, and see you next week.